Hello, my name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this is another session of what I'm calling Sunken Hearts, which is will be listed in the thing as Hearts of Yokai. It's a hack that I've been building up that we're kind of working on a renaming of. Um, this session is part of the Open Hearth Gaming calendar slash community. If you're watching this on YouTube, know that all of my videos and a ton of videos from other community members are available on the Open Hearth YouTube channel and are also converted to podcast form. And you can subscribe to those and search and listen to various things if podcast is your preference. I actually find that easier to handle, listening to just the audio of things. Uh, which also brings me to say, each year we do a best of picks from community members, do a podcast that we kind of assemble together. And we got a huge number of submissions this year. I, I thought we weren't going to have enough, and people came out, and I was hoping for a certain number, and we got double that number. And it's really exciting with very few duplications um, across the 40 some submissions, just a few duplications. So a lot of different games people talk about just very briefly about why they enjoyed them. So looking forward to that. We put that out at the end of the year, and that'll be in our both of our podcast feeds. So I just want to give a shout out in case anyone is actually watching this. Sometimes people do. And I go and I look at the numbers and the numbers go up, and I have no idea what that means. But we're taking up here. We are 1999 Mobile, Alabama. And last time we dealt with the aftermath of the party and the aftermath of the junkyard. And we moved ourselves at the very end to the duel, where Mara was serving as the second to our friend Wisdom Wales, and waited there at the park. And the goblin in the duster, who had shown up a couple of times before to speak with Marrow, uh, uh, arrived after Wisdom arrived, and told them, and this is our like closing line from last time, that the duel was off, because the goblin who challenged Wisdom Wales had been murdered. And that is where we left off last time. I want to check in. Did anybody get any advances or anything I should know about? Okay. Um, we're looking at, I'm going to sneeze, I think. Ugh. I have to do that if I don't hit the mute in time. I have to try to keep it from it. I'm actually, give me, Jerry could hear me blowing my nose from the other room. So,
Yes, good.
uh, so we can still have outstanding, sort of as a thing we want to look at, the romantic entanglement from Marrow at some point. Like if we find something, Marrow, that Tyler, that you want to hook into, we'll play with that. Um, uh, but we don't forget that your rival also counts for those entanglement things too. So it is cool on that. Um, uh, we rewrote Aldo's last time. And you're still thinking about how you want to revise yours, aren't you, Mr. Suit? Okay. So uh, I don't remember, if I may, if we gave that uh, goblin in the duster a name. And given that I can't now remember it, and I also cannot find it in my notes, uh, that goblin's name is Tipper.
That's a great name.
Yes, he will actually introduce himself as Den Tipper, um, and he will say, "So, so the duel is off.
My gracious. Well, what happened?
We are still trying to figure out how to figure out what what happened. Uh, he he was found earlier today in his uh, chambers, I think is what I want to say, at the market, uh, dead. Um, so yes, it's it's a mess.
I'm terribly sorry for your loss.
I appreciate that. And you see him kind of lean past you and you say, well, okay. And you see him wave and you realize that wisdom has turned and is walking away.
And
Uh,
I sort of go, Morrow, I have been training to be a detective. Maybe we could help.
yeah, maybe. Sure, yeah. I suppose we could try to help. Whatever we could do to help, I'm sure we would be willing to do.
Tipper will say, you're a detective?
In training. So almost. I haven't got a certificate yet, that's for sure. But I would
Mar-
love one.
Marrow, none of this is required as a second in the duel.
So part of the problem that we have as goblins is that, and you see him pause. He says, so we we don't think point to point. We tend to jump and conclude and then warp reality to come back to that.
Oh,
Um, and it actually it's an organizational problem. It means that there are no goblin detectives because they can't think that way.
Hmm.
So
Could they will a solution into place?
no, no, no. It's mostly with objects and things, and it's with objects that go into the undertow. It's easy to kind of like think and wish upon a star and make those things happen. With people and other real world things, they just act as if they're correct.
Oh, I know people like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some people call it misplaced confidence.
Hmm. Still, it's always admirable in its own way. Um, so is where is the body?
It is at our market. I could take you there.
Ah, and she sort of turns around and she looks at the others. I mean, and she kind of goes, "You'd be willing to go, wouldn't you? Help people out?" She's nodding
Says,
towards Morrow.
how about this?
Help him.
There's no obligation if you want to come and check things out, and if you can help, then that is a thing that will, and if you're able to help, that will be a thing that will be counted well amongst my clan.
Well, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to look.
I can guarantee safe passage for you.
Oh, thank you.
You're very generous. Thank you.
If you're helping, it's the least that I can do.
Yeah, really.
It's literally the least.
Yeah.
So, uh, I can take you there via the undertow, or I can have you drive close to the anchor. I give you directions, and then I can walk you in from there.
Maybe do the ink.
Okay. Um, where's your car?
We turn to Mr. Suit.
Turn, looking very resigned.
Well, let's get to your car.
Okay.
And then do any of you have like an index card or a scrap of paper and like a pen or a
Oh, yes.
pencil?
I have all of those things.
Okay.
I also have permission slips.
No, all I need is to write down the address.
Oh, okay. Here we go. And she pulls that up.
And he will write down an address, sort of north part of Mobile,
Oh, all
for
right.
you, and hand that to you, Mr. Suit, since you seem to be the driver. And
Thank
we'll
you.
say, "May I ride in your trunk?"
Yes.
Could you pop the trunk here for me?
Yes, I'm sorry. I just certainly.
And oh, you've got some groceries back here. I'll try not to squash anything.
No, we can put those in the back seat. Do you need I can give you a knee up?
No, I got it. I got it. I just let me come right here. Oh, this Stratus has a lot of trunk room, doesn't it?
Fine
Yeah,
American engineering.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now I'll just curl myself up here at the wheel well. I'm smaller than I look.
but that's not all right.
See you when
And
we get
Choke.
there. And as he closes the trunk, she says to him, why does he have to be in the trunk, Maro?
I think maybe there's a problem should he be seen.
Oh. Hmm.
no,
Yeah, it might look like we were kidnapping
no, it's
someone.
actually because people don't see me. It's that I get motion sick if I can see out the windows.
Oh, that makes complete sense. Thank you for your
You don't
consideration.
want a goblin vomiting in your car.
No,
Ooh.
so and to be clear, if you can't see out the windows, that means you don't get motion sick.
That is correct.
All right, I'm going to hold you to that one. Let's go.
Shotgun.
Oh, wait, let me get something out of the glove compartment. She gets in there
It's
and
the
she rifles
flamethrower,
around.
The flamethrower.
As we start, I'm going to turn on the radio. The sultral sounds of Robert Smith will start playing, and I will switch the sound to the rear
Okay.
and kind of quietly say, "Is this a very good idea?"
The best.
I don't know if I was clear enough earlier.
No, it's probably a
There-
terrible idea, but
There's a very easy to guess suspect in
Who's
this particular. I'll cut my eyes to the other two, like thinking, I am right. This is pretty obvious, right? Wisdom.
I think before you say, like, as you're starting to say wisdom, I'm like, I did not do anything. I
See, I didn't think it was you,
don't even know
Aldo.
this particular group of goblins.
Yes, that was it. She goes, I think that's the thing is, it seems like that is it, but there's nothing to. She goes, We can confirm it or deny it.
It's by, and let me be very clear about this, following a goblin to a second location, which is how most of our stories started in
No.
basic.
Wait, you followed a goblin to your...
It's not, the specifics
That
aren't.
seems like a really, like...
No, finish
Now
that
I
sentence.
understand why you're traumatized. I'm so sorry. I had no idea.
No, that seems like what? What was the end of that sentence?
I said, that seems like a very particularly detailed assumption that...
No, okay, fine. That's no problems with. All right.
Should for sure try our best to stay together. From what I understand, it's not just our kind that could be found at a goblin market.
No, there's probably goblins in there too, right?
There's also probably small takers or buccaneers.
Ooh. We'll be careful.
All right.
When will that start?
As she holds up her blowtorch. Now.
Okay.
So you'll find yourselves in slightly northern part of Mobile, a little more suburbia kind of area here. But suburbia that was like solid maybe 30, 40 years ago, but has fallen out. And you find yourself driving into the uh, eh, somewhat empty parking lot of the North Pines Mall, a early 1960s one level shopping mall that closed down about 8 years ago when it lost its J.C. Penney's anchor store. Was kind of the last holdout of it. You can see that about half of the parking lot uh, seems to be like a place where various truck bodies and rental cars are dropped off. They've kind of repurposed a good chunk of it. But you'll kind of drive over to an area and park and uh, you'll hear the are we there yet?
We think so.
Okay. Could you let me out of the trunk?
Is there a
Mr.
particular? We're near the food court.
Yeah, that entrance is fine. That entrance is fine. I will walk the wards when you let me out of the trunk. That's the first step. You are going to let me out of the trunk, right?
But we have to stop the car first.
Oh, okay.
Stop the car.
We're driving in a
Pause
circle
behind
around
the
one of
truck.
the...
You do an extra like 3 or 4 count. You'll open it up, and he will hop out and he will say, "We've set up here. Um, you'll see why in a moment. I have to walk us through the shallows in. It's just a short step. So if you will follow me, um, and you'll see him go over to a spot where there's some standing water, essentially like one of those berms between the parking lot and the building with some grass and stuff. And he will do that shifting that opens up the undertow and steps through and then beckons for you to follow.
She always does stop and she goes, "This is the bit that always gives me a little motion sickness." And then she'll turn to the others and she'll nod, and I said, "I think we'll be okay. We'll figure this out, okay?" And she will step through.
And for a penny.
She's worried about
Yeah.
motion sickness.
See you on the other side. Now step through.
Yeah.
And
I'll
it
send
is
some-
a short walk. Aldo, you come in kind of last. A short walk through, just a few steps. You kind of see, like when you're walking this close in the shallows of the undertow to the real world, you kind of see the outlines of it again, like being underneath at the bottom of a pool, kind of seeing things. And you will step out, clearly emerging from a big rectangular rectangular uh, uh, fountain pool that with one of those big metal things with like the several like faucet things, and it's kind of spraying out brackish water into this. There are like little benches beside it, and it's very much like this mall is a uh, one long corridor and then a single kind of spire corridor. So it's like a very shortened T. Um, and essentially you're by what probably used to be the Swiss Valley sausage and cheese shop that's closed up there. There's an abandoned empty arcade. There's Orange Julius. But mostly what you're seeing around here is goblin stalls and little goblin houses and things, and it is an active market that kind of, if you've been to one of those downscale malls when they're having like a baseball card or comic book trading day,
Mhm.
uh, it's like that. Very, very much that. Um, it is predominantly goblins here. But you will see some other folk, some of them human looking, some of them slightly different. You're not sure what they are. Um, you will see maybe a couple of changelings, but not changelings that you know.
Okay.
And uh, Tipper will walk you in, and he will say, "So we should go and talk to the the market manager.
Okay.
Tell him you're here, and uh, I can put you in his hands then."
Yes, yes, wonderful. This whole place, it's amazing. I absolutely love what you've done with it. A striking water feature. Uh,
Ah,
how how long have you been in the mall area?
the mall closed about 8 years ago. Our clan took it about 5 years ago.
Oh, that's fascinating. Wonderful. So you've been in the neighborhood for a while.
Yeah.
That's so wonderful. That's great. Trying to make awkward party small talk with him.
Okay. Lydia, what's another thing we see here about like let's paint a little more of the scene of this goblin market here. Tell me something else we see.
I think the thing that you notice is that, like you said, it's like those, big flat tables with boxes and stuff like that, and a dealer kind of sitting behind it, waiting around for someone. But the thing is if you actually watch when they're doing a deal, there's this weird thing that like someone will come and ask questions and stuff, and if you'll see it get kind of intent, and then it's like you kind of see from under the table there'll be like a box that gets pushed out, and then it's like there's a whole new set of like hidden things that are being sold, but it's like nothing interesting is on the tables. And it's really weird when the box that gets pushed out comes, because it's not moving right, in that sort of way of that's coming from somewhere deeper in. So it's definitely like these stalls are, sort of, there's a plexiglass thing that's going on underneath the table, if that makes
Okay.
any sense.
I like that. Meryl, what's another thing that we see on screen here?
Um, I think that in this area they had one of those little play spots. So it has like a little small merry-go-round,
Mm-hmm.
and like the little horses you get on and they buck and things like that. Um, but these have been repurposed to provide kind of power for the place. So like the merry-go-round is used almost like a turbine to you see that there are belts and ropes that are attached to it that move all throughout this Goblin Market, turning fans or running display cases, things like that.
I love it. I love it. So we've got this kind of weird sense of power there. Aldo, what's another thing that we see?
Um, there are a couple of stands made of like just actually I think all of the stands have elements of things that were in the mall before. Like there's one that's clearly built out of like air hockey tables from the arcade. Um, there's some that are made from like clothes from a store. Just things that were left behind, in like the storage area behind the store, but when it closed.
I love it. And Mr. Suit, what's another thing that we see here?
Um, I think there is the sound of water dripping, and it's not just the brackish water feature that we came through. That from like upper stories of the mall, all over the place, there's just this constant drip and flow of water down into like little what's built up into like streams and pond networks sort of here through the lower levels, like someone's left the bathtub on in the upper floor, but for the whole mall.
Nice. That feeling of damp, that sound of damp of water features all around. Uh, and Tipper will take you to a goblin who is kind of on. Imagine that one of those tennis court judges' chairs, up,
Mhm.
but sawed down maybe about half, so it's still up higher. Um,
But they don't
and
need it to be that high, right?
yeah, and Tipper will go and will say, uh, Denorfa, and the goblin will kind of look and will say Den Tipper, and Denorfa will say, it's actually Den Bacher now, and Tipper will say, oh, like clearly that's something that means it, then Den Bacher, Orpha. Um, uh, uh, I have hired some detectives to investigate the matter. That they're consultants, consulting detectives, uh, like like Sherlock Bones, that comic character. Um, they're here to look into the matter of Denbacher Boots's passing, and he says that name very deliberately. And the market master will kind of turn to you and will say, "You are detectives?
Yes.
Excellent. Um, well, That's good. Uh, shall I take you to the scene of the crime?
Please.
And he will. If you've ever seen a child that is too small get down from a big truck, that is the image you now take to have of this goblin getting down from this tennis chair. There is no grace to it whatsoever. Climbs down and will brush themselves off when they come and will say, "So you may call me Orpha. You do not need to use the full clan name for me. Um, walk with me. But perhaps you could introduce yourselves. Tell me exactly who you are. I see that you are taken, I'm guessing. We have,
Released.
pardon?
Uh, Released.
Yes, the release, the ones who were in the past taken.
Yeah, he's correct.
Yes. We have sometimes we get some of your folk through here. We have a couple of regulars.
Oh, I
Um,
noticed that.
yes.
Um, as well as and
As
she
some
sort of
others,
stops.
yes.
Yes.
Today, point there's one of the gambler revenants over there.
No revenants.
Um, uh, uh, there's some of the Promethean militia um,
Oh,
uh, over there, and uh, that's I'm not sure what that werewolf does.
Oh, but there's a werewolf. That's notable.
Yes. There might be a vampire around here too as well.
Really.
Yes.
Are they any danger to you?
Oh no. No.
Oh, okay.
No. Well, I take that back. Let me re-say that. Yes. Yes. Um, uh, uh, uh,
Okay.
it, they won't drink our blood, but they
Yes.
could certainly murder us if they wanted to.
Oh,
oh,
okay. All right.
But our
But
blood,
you're not a tasty treat.
we are far from a tasty treat for any folk that would consume us.
Oh,
No, I take that back. There are some ogres.
really?
Uh,
Ogres like about everything I've
Yeah, I
heard.
don't
no,
think taste really comes into it.
no. That's part of the reason why we fled from the mountains down here was an influx of ogres that came into the Appalachians.
hmm.
It was
Well,
not
I'm
good.
Marrow.
Ah, yes. And your name?
It's Marrow.
Oh.
Is the second in the duel that Denbacher Boots was involved in, but the other side, obviously not.
Yes. Uh, a, a coincidence that Denbacher Boots should turn up dead on the day of the duel with one of your kind after that person stole items from us.
Allegedly.
Which part is the allegedly?
Stole, I suppose. They certainly did not feel that was the case. But I'm not here to argue their case once whatsoever, so Stole's fine with me.
Fair. Um, so you are Marrow, and you, my Natalie dressed fellow,
Mr. Suit.
Mr. Suit. Again, so are you all named after your sort of essence?
And Lydia looks a little confused. I'm not sure. My name is Lily Smythe. So I don't think, well, maybe I am. Yes, I also am named after my.
Ah,
She's
I
pretty
didn't
as a
realize it till
lily.
today. Yeah.
ah.
I'm Aldo. I'm not.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. And we'll walk you into
I
that.
take it, are we in our, I mean, is
You
Aldo in canine form?
Yeah, that is a
Uh,
question. Is like we know that you have a canine form, a form that you assume to
mhm,
become a coyote.
right.
Um,
And I don't think I am right at the moment.
yeah, but what is your sort of not the persona that you present to the world that other mortals see,
Right.
but
Like,
what does your actual sort of taken self look like?
that's a good question. I had just been thinking I look like, the same as I do to humans, but I think it's not quite the same because I think that like I am identifiable to other Taken
Okay.
as not just a human.
Is it slightly canine features? Is it more pronounced? Is it something different than that?
Um, oh, I said when transformed, but like, got a seven, that had kept the human eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I think I appear to have like to the other Taken, like my, that form. Uh I have much more animal looking eyes.
Okay. So that's the sort of the key
I think
feature
it's the
that
eyes.
changes. Okay,
Yes.
I like that.
I think like there's
Probably
no
the
whites
texture
to
of
the
your
eyes. They're
hair
just sort of
does
round and
too.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
and
Or
and it's sort of like that multi tan black gray mix that, the like coyotes have hair color.
Nice. Uh uh Orpha will take you to that hall that is in all malls. That is the hallway down to the restrooms
Mhm.
that goes by these vending machines that have an odd look to them. They are not quite right. Uh, if we were 25 years later, it would look like someone had artificially intelligence generated drink labels for the drinks and the food and stuff. And like when you look at the food dispensers, like on any particular rack of chips, like you can see that it goes back and none of the chips are the same. It's all just an absolute uh, uh, mishmash. There's an old cigarette dispensing machine here,
pulled
with
out knobs.
the pull-out knobs. But the other thing that will strike you here as you walk down past these restrooms to what's clearly essentially the must have been the administrative offices is that the goblins do not seem to have a cleaning crew because on this parquet floor, it is sticky. Um, and as you walk, your feet make that kind of shuk, 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 that you know that you're going to have that on your shoes for a while, unless you like buff the bottoms of them. Uh,
Suddenly glad that I'm not, or that I'm in human form and therefore wearing shoes because
yes.
it would be even worse to have your feet stick to everything for
Losing that fur that's between your pads, to
Yeah.
the
yes.
floor.
But Orpha will walk you back through a little like secretary's office. There are file cabinets and a little desk and an old style typewriter and multiple ashtrays. And just it smells like an ashtray in there. Uh, and then
But that's just like at school. So
yeah. Then we'll open up into an office with uh, uh, it's a nice wooden desk, but it clearly has been pulled out of the water. It's kind of pitted. It's been inexpertly sanded back down and spot varnished. Um, and there are filing cabinets and shelves and books and things, those kinds of old magazine like ledger books with the orange facing that you kind of open up and they stick the magazines in there. And this place is an absolute mess. But Orpha will walk you back and walks you around the desk, and there is literally a dead body laying there.
Oh,
And you will see this goblin in a tailored would be too much, but suit clearly made for him. Um, and he is sprawled out behind the desk. The chair is turned over, and Orpha will say, "Yes, that's how we found him."
Oh, that's Mr. Boots then.
That is Den Boots.
Is there an obvious wound or cause of death?
I'm going to have you make a study roll here for me, Marrow,
Oh, all right.
because I will tell you definitely what you see, and then I will give you some more information. What do you want to roll that with as you kind of look at the body here?
Oh, let's roll with. Eh, I think this is power.
Okay.
That makes sense. So, 2 dice. Rolling. Oh, that's a snake eyes. That's 3.
ouch.
So I think you move to kind of touch and turn him. And as you kind of turn his head over, there's a weird rattling sound. And you will feel a bullet pass through you. Please mark one of your the stats, the power stat that you rolled with.
Oh,
Um, uh, and you will realize that essentially it is a dream bullet that was rattling around in his head. And when you kind of turned his head, it flew out and passed through you.
I've been shot!
Oh my
What?
goodness.
Who shot you? What?
Ow! Oh! Oh!
Are you sure you don't? Okay, well that's a little bit more like.
Yes, I'm sure I've been shot.
And she goes to the I guess she'll look like on Morrow, like where he's pointing to where he's been shot. Can she see something?
Was there a physical? I mean, is there something apparent?
You will see there is a like now you're seeing there is a mark on you that you kind of it stings, and you realize that there's essentially how do I put this best? Um, there's the equivalent of uh, powder burns, but it's fairy dust uh, powder burns there, dream dust on the outside, and kind of a mark.
I mean, if we could kind of see through me. Did it?
Yeah.
Like, has
Did
it
it hit
disrupted
anything?
my? Do I have like
No,
marrow bloops?
no, because of the nature of your body, it just kind of passed through you.
So yeah, I guess you see this, that pseudo memory of skin and muscle that is my exterior. You see the fairy dust powder there.
I extrapolate what
Ow!
the path would have been to see what when it went through. Did it hit the wall, the ceiling, something like that, to get another sense of
That'll be
what
a
it is?
study roll for you.
Okay, that sounds good. But
Just
instead,
don't look at the body.
I'm gonna look at the body. But okay, so
I
I'm
think
gonna.
definitely, Marrow, you can tell that someone fired a dream bullet into his head, into his dreams. It bounced around in his brain pan. Uh, as probably has been bouncing since this morning when he was shot. You can see there is an entry wound on his head of the same kind of dream dust. And
Huh.
now there's kind of some blood coming out of his goblin ears.
Oh.
Hmm.
Lydia,
Yes. So I would like to study where it would have struck the world and what it did to give us some sense.
what are you rolling with?
That's a good question because I have done the thing where I've lost my tab. So there we go. Okay, here it is. My tab, my character. How about I think I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get to see right away. Um, it's not that I wanted to be shot, but this seems like such a significant clue. So I think it's a little bit of sorrow in that
Okay.
sense that Morrow has done the logical thing, and so I would like to help us, even though I was not the first to do the thing. So let's see, I gotta find these dices, right? And I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna hit roll again. So it's 8 plus 1 is a 9.
So you have one hold. I think the basic thing you'll see is that there does appear to be some kind of warding on the wall here. Um, and you will see that there is essentially, you can just make it out. I mean, it is a a dreamed of bullet that's kind of impacted onto the wall there. What is your study question or
So,
declaration?
okay. So I my declaration is that she is going to go into her purse and she's going to pull out a baggie. She has multiple like little bags and things like that in there that she sort of saves because she's been thinking about being a detective and she needs evidence bags. And I think she's going to get in there, she's going to get a nail file out. And she's actually going to dig that dream bullet out of the warded wall
Okay.
and put it in the baggie
Okay.
because she's like, this is someone's dream. We can match it up when we get there. Does that make any sense? And so she puts that in the bag and she goes, all right, we have our first piece of evidence.
CSI Sandman.
Exactly.
Boom,
Uh,
boom.
uh, Aldo, what are you doing?
Um,
You will
I
notice that
think
Orpha has, after the kind of the someone getting injured, they have stepped back defensively, and you kind of turn around maybe to say something to them, and the door is closing. They're saying, "Well, I'll leave you to it then."
right. Um, uh, I have a better than average sense of smell, so
Okay.
I think I'm like going to smell around for see if I smell anything weird.
Okay. Let's have you make a study roll. Uh,
Um, I think I think fear is probably the closest. This is a weird situation. I have
yeah.
never investigated a murder before. Also, there's a dead body right there, and we don't know how it died. And also, a dream bullet just came out of it. Yeah, this is scary. So 7 plus 2, 9.
You're nine. Uh, so you want to know if there's anything odd that you smell here that you,
Yes.
I think, I mean, this place is filled with all kinds of fucked up smells. I think
Yeah.
that is like it is a panoply of
Do I
odd
smell anything
scents
weird?
things.
Yes,
Yes,
obviously, but
but I think one of the things you will find is uh in one of the drawers of the desk is a cardboard box that looks in relatively good shape, like clearly relatively recent. And you will open it up, and there are a couple of vials of some kind of liquid that gives off that sense of magic and glamour. Um, that's kind of unusual. And a syringe. Like clearly this is meant to be injected, but the thing that will strike you is it smells like semolina pilchard.
Huh. I am gonna slip one of those vials in my pocket
Okay.
and like put the other on the desk. And, like, yeah, I think I do any of you recognize this?
I don't do illicit substances, so no, I don't. And it certainly wasn't in any of the drug programs that I saw at the schools, though they are for elementary schools students. So, but anyway, no. Mr. Sue, you have a very sophisticated party presence, though. Perhaps you know.
I don't recognize that particular cocktail.
It's a cocktail.
I don't know. I'm just you said it was a party.
Well,
Smells like semolina pilchard.
ooh,
I don't know if that means anything, but other
It brings
than
up
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of questions.
Yes, it does. But I don't even know what those questions are. Aside from, I guess he probably got it from her.
wait. Or is it an essence of semolina pilchard sort of thing? Like
How
to appear
familiar
as her or dream of her or
and how exactly familiar are you with Semolina Pilchard's smell?
I mean, I've been in the same room with
I hate her.
her. She is kind of obnoxious.
She's very unkind.
Have any knowledge of her making alchemical things?
He definitely is known to have a little skill in that area. Yes.
Hmm.
Mr. Sue, what are you doing here before I
Hmm.
pass back to Lily here?
Um, I am taking a look through the desk here and potentially his pockets for any sort of like uh paperwork, notes, letters, receipts, debts, written things. Um, I'm wondering if I can find enough here to try and use my follow the threads.
Well, let's have you make a study roll first.
I don't know, maybe power it has to do with goblin stuff.
That seems fair.
Oh, that's a 4.
So I think you will get just to roll that follow the thread. So I'm not going to give you any study questions, but I'm going to let you do the follow the thread roll.
All right.
Does that seem fair for the miss?
Sure. Um, I think I have become frustrated and angered at I'm guessing his lack of organization or any sort of rational note or bookkeeping. So
Okay.
roll with anger. It's That's a 5.
That is a 5. I think that you will be able to uh, pick up not he's clearly got a lot of business things here, and this is just in the time that you're kind of looking through. I think the one thing that you will find a little bit to your uh, maybe pleasure, maybe disagreement, uh, is clearly that he has some business going with Abyssinian Max.
This is absolutely ridiculous. None of this should be over here. This entire drawer is why are these still wet? And he just pulls out his like personal calendar and starts like correcting all of the entries because they've been put in inefficiently and he doesn't like how it's laid out.
I dig it. We'll come back for a little more of that, looking around and chatting and following up on threads here. But let's take our first break. Take 10 and come back, okay?
What are you good?
So let me resume recording, and I'm going to screen share our PCs here briefly.
Okay.
I can find that just to get that set. Okay. And that's all it takes. Um, so you will find yourselves in this incredibly messy office with this dead goblin body, papers strewn about, some sort of illicit or non-illicit, but certainly supernatural vial with links to Semolina and the dream bullet that got fired, that got caught in the ward, and that you've prized out with a nail file.
Yes. And that is a fine prize. But these syringes are the syringe and the vials are also very interesting. I have for many sessions been forgetting to use my ability to just call a random move and take it.
Okay.
So I do think that again this time I'm going to use probably going to try one psychometry.
Okay.
It is. So essentially that's my ability to read the item. And I do think it's going to be that sort of box of those little ampules and that sort of thing. I'm going to
Absolutely.
study those.
Okay.
So
Using that psychometry. Absolutely. Let's have
yeah.
you make that roll.
Okay. And I think it's just joy in the sense of like, um, now I'm kind of like I'm actually getting to do the detective stuff
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. And it's very fun because my fellows are helping. And so this is going to be the best, the absolute best. Now all I have to do is find the dice roller. Okay, I'm rolling the 2d6 again. So 7 plus 2 is a 9. Very
And
consistent
a
tonight.
9. Um,
Oh, can I use a bond?
you can.
Okay. I think because it's Semolina Pilchard, I think that this is like I do kind of like look to Eldo like we got to figure this out because we both have some bridges we'd like to burn that she's standing on. So, if that makes any sense.
So let me give you sort of the first reading you'll get off the psychometry, and then you've got two holds. So
Okay.
we can follow up with either another question or a declaration. But I think you will definitely get the vision of uh, Den Bacher boots uh, and some sort of contracted thing going on with Semolina Pilchard, uh, and Semolina Pilchard essentially saying, I promise you that if you inject this, this will enhance your strength, reflexes, power, and you will be able to, without a doubt, win the duel.
Okay.
It's fast, it's painless, it's relatively undetectable within a certain amount of time.
Hmm. All right.
And it's very clear that these are, essentially fairy steroids that have been put out there. So you've still got another hold.
Okay. So the one thing that I get from the psychometry is so that was that little
That
scene was
vision, yeah.
essentially it. Okay. And so and I look at the syringe. Did he use it? Did he have a chance to use it, or was he killed before that?
He was killed before he had a chance to use that.
Hmm. Um, so it's interesting. And she goes, dang, doesn't look like it was Semolina Pilcher that did it. But she was here.
I think she just sold this to him. That didn't have to be here. That could have been anywhere. I don't know why she would have.
Well, no,
Killed
when I
him.
could see it, did it feel like it was here or somewhere else that she sold it?
Oh,
lol.
that she made the transaction here?
Yeah.
Yes, she came here to make the transaction.
Okay, so she did move through here. All right. So she's selling fairy steroids to gobos. Okay.
Marrow?
Wait a minute. I get one more though. Hold, right?
Oh, I thought that was your second question. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
I kind of lost track of.
No, I'm sorry. It probably was. I was thinking of a clarification, but nope, that's great.
Well, if there's something you need me to clarify, I'll do that, and then I'll move on to Marrow.
No, that's fine. If it's two questions, that's good.
Okay, Marrow.
Um, I think that I have like stepped over the body and rolled the chair away and have sat down because I was shot and
Yes.
and have kind of sat there and watching as the group is doing things and with a tiny bit of silent resentment, thinking, I've been shot here. But I think I'm going to. What do I know about like a dream bullet, dream attacks? Would the person need to be in a dream state for it to work? Do I need to roll to see what I
Yeah,
know about that sort of thing?
let's do a roll, and we can get the details out on that. Get some basic information, then we'll add on to that.
Okay. Well, again, because I am feeling a little,
Yeah.
put upon by being ignored, I think sorrow for this. I can't believe that they aren't paying any attention to me at
We
all.
can't see a wound. You're all holes.
You don't believe me? That's a 12.
So that's two hold. Uh, so I think what you realize is uh, uh, two things about the sort of dream state before I'll let you spend your study hold then.
Hmm.
One is that the target doesn't have to be asleep, because everybody's kind of slightly asleep, kind of slightly in dream, so it can affect people that way. But the other thing is that it probably isn't the dream bullet. Somebody didn't like manifest it and then fire it. They probably, like you all do, they found somebody's dream and took the bullet out of that dream and used that. Um, so you have two hold though.
Okay. Um, what I see, I'm wondering if I have to do a contract to push this further. But would I need a contract to try and figure out where that dream bullet, whose dream that dream bullet came from?
Yeah, I
Or is
think
that
that
part
would
of the
probably
study?
probably be.
Okay.
I think that would be a magical thing that you have to do. Extend your senses.
Okay. Then I'm going to ask first. What time did this happen?
It seemed like it happened like in the morning, so a couple of hours before the the duel was to take place. So a little bit of span there. Um, but definitely like he had been up and doing some things and then got hit by this.
Okay.
That's one.
And I'm going to declare something.
Sure.
Having seen Lily bring out the dream bullet and put in her evidence bag, and they're looking at it. Um, this is a very distinctive bullet, and in particular, looking at it, it has strange, like, not even strange. It has written on it a word, and I think the word is going to be I think vengeance.
Okay. Yeah, it has that solidification, that word is there, that essence of vengeance is tied in there. That seems perfectly fine. Absolutely. Got that as an established fact. Um, Aldo, Mr. Suit, more explorations in here, talking with people at the market, doing something else. Um, what do you think?
I think I am going to actually like um look closer at Marrow's wound. Like that went through. Does it hurt if things go through you? What? Oh,
So
it's
doing a comfort and
Tyler's like,
support?
yes.
Okay. What do you want to roll that with?
Um, I think still fear.
Okay.
Oh, 13. Okay, I'll take
Excellent.
that.
So what does that look like for uh Mara when you go to do that? What do we see happen here?
You're muted.
Asking me or asking
I'm
Aldo?
asking Aldo. When Aldo goes
Oh,
to kind of
okay.
heal and help you, comes over, kind of get what Aldo does and how Marrow reacts. You're going to clear a mood, marked mood, Marrow.
Yeah, I think it's like I actually ask like okay, wait, does it does this hurt when things go through you? What's
It's
how does that
definitely hurt.
work?
Yes. I
Um,
mean, well, yes. Generally, things that, I mean, yeah, I could be hurt.
um, how do you what do you do about it? Because I'm like just sort of looking at him like mystified, like I have no idea
Uh,
what how to like I know how to bandage a wound on skin, but
Well, I mean, normally it would be, I mean, for a normal wound, it would be the same. I don't know about a dream wound, but it really does feel like I got shot.
Um, well, I mean, normally if you get shot in a dream, you wake up and you're, um, would fairy steroids help?
With what?
Fairy steroids, the stuff. It's
Oh, no, let's. uh, I don't think that's the we maybe just a bandage. Could you maybe help wrap me up?
yeah, I could do that. Sure, I could do that.
And then because you rolled a 13 plus, you clear one of marrow, and then Aldo, you can clear a mood yourself,
Good.
ask them a question, or you can gain a bond with marrow.
You know, I do have one marked, but it's not one I ever use. So I will. Oh, I think I'll ask a question. Um, ask them a question they must answer. Why do you keep going back into the undertow? And I think I actually like asked this in the process, like, this that's dangerous. That's like that's how these kind of things happen. Right now you have us with you, but like I know you go in alone. Why do you do that?
Well, in part, I mean, most of me still there. I feel a little closer to what I was. So little got away. The rest is still under there. But it's also because I'm good at it. And it's one of the few things I feel like I can do that makes me different, that can help us all. I can find things. I can talk to things.
Uh, I don't think I really have an answer for that. I'm just like, well, look, don't do it more than necessary, huh? I'd hate for something like this to happen with nobody around.
I'll kind of, as you're wrapping me up, kind of lead in a bit, and I'm triggering a move. I'm
Okay.
going to trigger memories. I think we get this moment we see in this just utopian looking garden, this very Versailles sort of palace, back behind it, and young people running around and laughing while this sort of brilliant light presence, it's a presence that's so beautiful that you can't look directly at it, is there enjoying these youths in their play, watching them play. And we see a very young Marrow, much more of him still together. Kind of a cute kid, but still a normal looking kid, running and stumbling and falling. And we see him scuff up his knee and start to cry. And we see another kid come running up. No, a little bit older than Marrow. No, no, no. You can't cry. Don't cry. You cry. He'll get angry. It's okay. It's all right. They begin tending to the cut. Never cry. Never cry.
Nice. I'm going to use that to clear
Get a bond.
to clear the
Because I
bond.
have
Okay.
none.
Excellent. So Mr. Suit, your kind of exploration of this, you can tell that there's just a horde of other things here, but what you did find is co certainly a connection to Abyssinian Max. Do you want to continue to explore this space? Do you want to go out and talk to people? Do you want to use a power? What do you think?
So, logic and rational organization obviously aren't working here. I mean, just running into mentions of Max is proof enough of that.
Hmm.
And I don't know what Marrow may or may not have figured out, but Lily seems confident in what she's doing. She always seems confident in what she's doing, but she seems
Right.
confident in what she's doing. And I think Mr. Suit is thinking back to the conversation about all her birthdays, and well, okay, maybe there's someone in there that might actually know something about this. So I'm going to go back out to the little Goblin Market
Okay.
out
People
here.
are around talking, lots of conversation, chatting going on out there.
And I want to find like a broker selling things from the other side, from the undertow sort of stuff. I'm so this will okay. Everything here will sound weird. I'm just going to go ahead with it. I need a dream forensics kit, not like a real forensics kit, but like there's all these shows now with the letters, and I have to imagine that means there's lots of people who just dream that they open up a briefcase at work and there's suddenly all the answers to all the forensics knowledge they would need. And tests, I think there's scrapings.
I understand. I understand what you want, what you are looking for. And I, Tem Alaska, will see what I can do. Let me go down into the basement and see what I can find.
Thank you so much, Mr. Alaska.
Would you please roll hit the streets for me, Mr. Suit?
Or is this Salvagers Market?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. We have this specifically for that. Yeah.
I don't know if it's counted enough. Um, I um I think this is joy. I'm trying to be optimistic. I believe in Lily's nonsense. This is all true. This is gonna be
Absolutely.
great. Come on, buddy. Oh my god, that's a 12. What
That
is
is
happening?
a
Why? No,
12.
why?
He will
Why is this working?
come back up, and he literally has uh, basically what looks like a teens CSI toy, like one of those boxes and things. But things are slightly odd and off about it. And he will say, "So, uh, this is." This is what you want to use. I think this will help you find it. The only problem is with it is because it's a dream forensics kit, you have to use it, you need to give somebody a nightmare.
Oh, well, that's not terrible.
Yeah. Also, because it's a forensics kit, um, for a while after you use it, one of your teeth is going to feel loose. It's not actually loose, but it's going to feel loose. Like, and it's kind of random which tooth, but
And when you say because it's a forensics kit,
it it is the nature of catches that they affine to similar things. So because forensics is about bones and things and dead bodies and stuff, so it
oh,
kind of
oh,
makes one of your teeth feel like it. Yeah,
that's, well, I mean, what are you going to do? It's also primary blue.
absolutely, absolutely. So what are you offering me for this baby?
Well, I feel like I'm trading away my dreams of a rational future, but um, I I have memories of getting ready for the first ball that I attended.
That sounds interesting. Memories are a hot commodity. I can do a lot with those, remixing, that kind of stuff.
Yes, it's sort of the beginning of a fall from innocence and a descent into the soul-sucking horror of the universe.
Yeah, that seems fine. Why don't you kind of draw out a wooden pipe? Why don't you just take a deep breath and blow that memory into this pipe for me?
Also, just had the most amazing tie.
That's a bonus.
Oh,
And he'll hand you this horrible corn cob pipe.
take a deep breath on it and then blow out.
And you'll feel something go with it. And then he'll hand you this Dream CSI kit that is still in shrink. And I'll say, there you go.
It's oh good. Ages 5 and up. That's perfect.
Absolutely, because you do look like you're 5 and up.
It's at least.
Absolutely. Well, if Tem Alaska can help you again in the future, please come and call on me.
I will tell everyone I know.
Excellent. Excellent. Uh,
Come
let's
back in and very like stiff backed, just plop it down in front of Lydia. I
Is that a lunchbox?
no, it's a very professional. It's for scrapings and chemical analysis. I'm pretty sure there's something about thumbprints. There's always something about
Oh,
fingerprints in there.
cool.
We opened it up. She goes, "Oh, there's also a thermos in here. That's nice."
It's not a lunchbox.
A forensics thermos.
It's a
Ugh.
sample case. It keeps it temperature controlled.
Okay. I will read the instructions.
So we do come back to you, Lydia.
Oh, excellent. Um, so we got the two different things, dream and the so Um, can we find, because we know there's a bunch of files in here. I think that she's going to, because this whole thing is about that, um, whatever it was that some, excuse me, that Wisdom Wales took, right?
Uh-huh.
So I think that it's like I want to find, because all these files, I'm thinking that there is a file in here for that. So
Okay.
I am checking through because I'm thinking that if he was going to go, he would have also brought any of his litigation as well.
That seems reasonable. Um, let's have you make a study roll.
Okay. I think this is, I do have um, that item that I got, the, um, sorry, a magnifying glass that increases the level of success of a study roll. I can use that afterwards if I need to, correct?
Yes, you can use that afterwards, and you can use that once.
Okay. That was, I just wanted to confirm that. Okay, so yes, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I am enjoying myself. I'm actually very intrigued by this forensics case.
Okay.
But first I'm going to do the check for the files. The
Sure.
mundane footwork that a detective has to do. I'm here for it. So here we go. Rolling with joy just means I'm going to add 2 because it's going swimmingly. This is where it goes terribly wrong, but all right. Oh, okay, here, sorry. Yep, that's what I was right. This is where it goes terribly wrong. So I rolled 3 on my dice, and with 2, that gives me a 10. I mean, I have 2, a 5.
5.
Sorry, I can't do things. So I'm like, oh man.
3, my lord. Do you
So
want to spend your magnifying glass?
yeah, that means that I don't have to pay all the other prices. Yes.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Yes, I will do that then.
So we will we'll give you a hold,
Okay.
and what is it you want to know?
I want to find what his proof is. Essentially, like how I want to, like, he would have been prepping for this, and I want to get a sense of, like, was that what he was interrupted in, or
Oh,
does it
so I
make any
think there
sense?
are notes that and I'll let you kind of do a follow-up to what I'm about to tell you
Okay.
here. It's very clear that one of the things that goblins do is they find places and they store things away to do things, but often in the deeps, and they often mark them out, which is why what Aldo found was kind of unusual, in
Okay.
that other not another clan of goblins, not this particular clan, working in that basement and stuff. But
Could
they
he start
had
a goblin war if he told them about it? Oh, sorry, that's a different question.
that's a
Sorry,
different
go on.
question
Yes,
here.
different things.
Um,
Just curious.
but uh, they they had put some books in particularly in a place. They have to be handled carefully because books aren't just the paper and ink, that there's meaning in there. So when you put them in the undertow, you've got to handle them particularly carefully, or else the meaning just gets washed away.
Mm.
So they had done some, he had done some investment and some work on that. Uh, and when he had returned, he had found that uh, several of the books that were furthest along had been taken. Um, and you will see that he consulted with a uh, what he calls an unhoused changeling
Hmm.
by the name of Commodore Pecky, who apparently was able to discern that it was wisdom whales that had taken the items.
Okay. Fingered wisdom.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, does that seem like a
Yes,
reasonable
it
thing to
does.
say?
Yes, it
Okay.
does. Okay. That's very interesting. Okay. And as I understand it, Wisdom Wales did not deny it, simply said that they were not going to return the book, to give the books
That
back.
is
Right? That they
correct.
found the books and that they were theirs.
Right.
So sort of like, okay, got it. And so those are the notes, and then I can ask a question.
Yes.
Okay. And so my question is there was this file, some things were happening today. What was the thing that he had on top of that thing, like the thing that it interceded in becoming the most important thing just before he got shot, essentially between being ready for the thing? Like, what else was it that came up?
Ooh, interesting question. Okay. He had a file out, uh, and there's a kind of notes on it that say that someone was hunting for this information and would pay a good price. It doesn't say who, but you look through it and you'll realize that it is a set of trade agreements and things from about a year and a half, 2 years ago, uh, between this group of goblins and the Widow Macton.
Oh,
It looks like they sold a number of what you would call components and weird magical things and such, uh, and shipped them, some of them to the junkyard, and some of them got taken to the shore line, to a parking lot down there.
I stop and I kind of stop and go, okay, there were some deals done with the Widow Macton.
What sort of deals?
Set of items of power. Is there inventory essentially?
Yeah, there's just inventory. It looks like it's a variety of kind of low level items and components and things like that. It's kind of an oddball manifest. It reads to you like buying a bunch of stuff. There's probably a needle in the haystack of the thing they actually wanted, but they bought a bunch of things to kind of conceal what they wanted.
Okay, something significant in there.
So she bought from the goblins.
Yeah. Before they vanished, that cabal clearly over the course of several months before they vanished had done a number of purchases from this particular goblin clan.
Huh. Curiouser and
Yeah.
curiouser.
And someone was clearly asking about it. And that's why he pulled these files out and had them right on his desk.
But there's no mention of who it was, right?
Correct.
All right. So we've got a lot of leads here. And a thermos.
They did thermos. Let's finish this once around and give
Okay.
everybody another bite of the apple here since you kind of start out the thing. Um, Aldo, is there another thing you want to do here or out in the market?
Um, I was just looking to see if I have any playback specific moves that were at all
Sure.
useful, and no, I do not.
Okay.
Uh, I think I want to search this desk for like hidden things, like everybody, when they if they have somewhere they want to keep a key, they'll like tape it to the underside of a desk, things like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, basically, I'm just gonna like look at the undersides of things and look at the backs of drawers, things like that.
Okay. Let's have you make that roll.
And how do I feel about this? Uh, Kind of curious, I guess. So, um, power maybe.
That
Wow,
seems fair.
9.
9. I have a sense of what your question is. Um, let's see. I've got some ideas here for my list of things. Um, he has down in here in a way that's clearly kept very carefully away a uh, uh, a odd old brass key that's kind of tarnished, um, and it's clearly significant. It has a weight to it when you pick it up. It's been hidden away, and it's clearly a key to a door to the point like when you like hold that key up, I think there's a weird kind of flicker image in the air of a keyhole.
Okay, cool. Just got to find the door that it belongs in with that kind of keyhole.
Well, no, I think
No, that's the actual door.
I think you will see the keyhole for this actually manifest
Oh,
in the
oh,
air,
cool.
kind of like in that way where you're kind of looking at it, you kind of see it and kind of don't see it.
Yes, I get it now. Um, yeah, I kind of looked at it. It's like, do you see that?
Yes. No. Yeah. Wait.
Right. Yeah, that's same here. Um,
What is it?
well, I mean, I think if I unlock it, we'll find out. Should I do that, you think, right now? Or
Might tell us something.
Yeah.
sure, why not? I will put the key in the keyhole
And
while sort of squinting and tilting my head, trying to get a better view of it.
And it'll go and you'll feel it ominously turn with a ka-chunk when you turn it. Uh,
Excellent sign.
uh, and you kind of have to like put some pressure on the key to kind of open it because there's still no doorknob.
Okay.
But you will open up a space in the air and you will see there is what looks like a little cell. And you will see that there is a goblin seated in this very small cell with a comically large ball and chain attached to him. And you will see him kind of look and blink basically because he's clearly been in the dark. And he will say, "Uh, You are not Boots. You're
No.
not even a goblin, or you're the ugliest goblin I've ever seen.
Who are you?
I am Brackish Puck."
Why are you here?
Because I saw what happened during the hurricane, and I saw what happened to Tinfoil Venice, and let us say, uh, Den Boots wanted me to remain quiet.
Ah, well, I have the key, and I want you to tell us everything. I don't want you to remain quiet at all.
He'll say, "You're not gonna like it." Let's take our
Didn't
second
expect
break
to.
for 5 minutes, and then we'll come back. To answer your question, Aldo, yes, Ethan, yes, a lot of people did. Uh, uh,
Yeah.
but it was crazy. We ended up with 40 submissions.
Wow.
I got mine in.
Yeah, it was we had enough that and it took a lot of we have to then massage it to get a relatively equal number of submissions, relatively equal time, and not have too many duplications in the three sections, which means
Right.
taking all that information and then
Correlating it
walking around
down.
with it. And so I finally got it arranged. So I felt bad because somebody today was like, "Oh, okay, can we still get it?" And I'm like, "No."
More 40 is a lot to try to, yeah.
Yeah, but luckily, Rich, Brushman, and Rob Abrasato are each doing one of the sections, and then I will do the
Oh,
wraparound and put it all together. So
Cool.
rather than having Rich do it all himself, which he used to do, which was insane. Um, so I'll read you this thing I just saw from RPG Bot on the Dice Camp. We need a Hallmark movie, but instead of busy person comes home for the holidays and falls in love, it's quote, busy person comes home from the holidays, reconnects with their D&D group, and gets a regular game going successfully.
Equally
it's a
probable.
holiday fantasy movie.
Yes. Less realistic than Hot Frosty, or whatever the name is. Sherry, are you back? You are muted.
Yay!
I never left.
Okay. Uh, I have forgotten to stop the recording, so this all goes in.
Oh,
Delicious.
All right.
nice.
Here we
Okay.
go.
Awesome.
You got to see how some of the sausage is made in between segments here. Okay. I apologize. I may go back and cut that out because it'll make Rich mad if he ever listens to it, which he won't. But uh, 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 so he will say, I would like to come out of this cell and I would like to have this ball and chain removed from my leg.
I look at the others and I'm like, uh,
That seems fair.
yeah, sure.
And I like to sit in a comfy chair.
I've been shot. I'd sit in the comfy chair.
Okay, won't push it any further. No, no sandwiches, snacks.
Oh,
All
I
right.
have
There's some
some
chips
hot
up.
fries.
Oh, I love hot fries. Al
Okay.
Cap hot fries. Delicious, please.
You know them.
Yes, absolutely.
I've been obsessed with them lately.
They
Well,
are often in big bags at the Dollar General.
well, thank you.
Yeah.
Can you get out, or do I?
Well, and he will stand up and he will start to walk, and it kind of almost gets to the like way out, but then that sort of leash of that absurdly large ball and chain
Right.
stops him.
Uh, I'm like, okay, fine. I have to like go in to unlock hoping that this key will also work on the ball and chain.
There's no lock on the ball and chain.
Okay.
It's one of those, here's a manacle, here's a bolt, and here's the chain to this thing.
Oh, so you need the right tools then. Essentially, the right wrench. We'll look in the bottom drawer of the desk. That's probably where it is. So
That makes sense.
We will assume it takes a bit to
a
find
bit of searching. It's in the filing
tool,
cabinet.
before you finally find a crowbar and are able to prise him out of that. And he will come out. And he will sit on a non-comfy chair, sort of a little bit shaggy Count of Monte Cristo goblin here. Uh, and he will say, "So there were some taken like yourselves."
Not like us, but yes, like us.
that came to Tinfoil Venice and stole some things of power.
What did they take?
Uh, the stone, the stone that anchored Tinfoil Venice. We didn't know that at the time. But Tinfoil Venice is important. It's, yes,
So Tinfoil Venice is a place.
it's a very old place
Is it an island out in the ocean?
of a kind. It it had that as a place. It was a it was in the past, uh, back in the 1800s, very early, a stopover point, and there was a community of Italians that made it a place. And then there were some pirate things that occurred as well, as I understand it. But it was a place that gathered a lot of things to it. And
So it was Italians, then pirates, then goblins? Is that what I'm getting?
let me come to this. It it kind of fell out of the world. That sometimes happens when things get old, when things shift. They have a historical weight to them, but there aren't people there, and they sink, and it sunk into the undertow. But it still had that. Do you know what a Cleomancer is?
I've seen that before, but it doesn't sound like it sounds like it's gonna be. It's not about Cleopatra.
No, no. There are wizards. He says it like that, wizards
Mhm.
that gain power from occupying a important historical place. That weight of history is what gives them power. Uh, there are a couple of places where we came from up in the Appalachians that
Mm.
had that kind of weight to them. Civil War, battlefield kind of things, and other things. But Tinfoil Venice had some of that power. I'm going. You want to know what happened, right?
Yes.
So there were these taken. They did a ceremony. They stole a bunch of shit, and I don't know what else they did, but at least part of what they did is they used some of that power to rip a place from the homelands, from the taker lands, and bring it here.
My gracious.
And there's a place just offshore that they made that's a little piece of the homelands.
Can I describe the stripped away goblin village that I went to?
Yeah, he'll say, "Oh yeah, that's tinfoil Venice. That's what's left of it. All of its resonance stripped for what they did." That Gabo you talked to, he's the one who gave the rock to them.
Hmm.
So they used the power of tinfoil finish to transpose
Not
this piece of
not
the
not
homeland.
just that. They had a bunch of shit with them.
They were taking things from all different kinds of people.
Yes, they were. And use that all together to transpose a piece of the homelands into the ocean off the coast here.
Yep, there's a place. There's a place, and I know where it is.
Ooh, we don't like that, but
Oh,
you need to know
you
that.
say that you don't like that, and he like, no, 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 please, please don't kill me.
No,
No, no.
that wasn't it. Sometimes you don't like a thing, but you know you got to do something about it, right?
That's why Boots smelled an opportunity, and when I came here, and when Tinfoil Venice got destroyed, we all scattered in all kinds of places, all kinds of ways, and I drifted around and about until I found myself here, and I tried to trade that information to Denbacher Boots, but I perhaps was not as cautious as a goblin ought to be.
Would appear.
Yes. Oh,
Huh.
eh, is that his body?
Yeah, he's just laying there.
It's right
Someone
there.
killed him
Oh.
today with a dream bullet.
Be careful, his body might still be loaded.
Might still be loaded.
It shot me.
His body shot you?
Yes.
Oh, I was going to ask to kick the body a few times, but I don't want to get shot.
Bad.
Probably safest not to.
Oh, okay.
I've been thinking of kicking it.
Disappointing as it is. Yeah. And then she sort of stops and she goes, "So you know where that is, and that is valuable information."
Yes, and if you can sneak me out of here,
Hmm.
I'm more than willing for that safe passage and a sandwich to show you how to get to that place.
Do you think you need to be sneaked out?
I have the strong impression that Denbacher Boots is not the only person who knew that I was tucked away there. I don't know
can
who
get you
else,
out.
but I heard him talking to other people once or twice when he came to badger me. And I don't want to take the chance.
Makes
I
sense.
can try something to help you get out.
Well, let me just say that brackish puck is at your disposal.
I'll look to the rest of you if
Well,
I can
before
we're
we
sneak out.
agreeing.
rush into that, we do need to discuss the sandwich budget. I think anything more than $10 is just outrageous.
$10 for a
That
sandwich?
seems a lot. Subway, I'm one of Jared's friends, and I really would like
Oh,
to.
no.
What? But yes, I'd like a sandwich. Subway sandwiches, anything would be good. Supermarket deli counter sandwiches. They're often cheap. End of day sandwiches, throw out sandwiches from the dumpster sandwiches. These are all sandwiches of a kind that I would eat. Delighted.
May I ask you a question? Is this cell like tied to this place here, or is it tied to the key? Because we could sneak you out if you stepped it back into the cell. I know you don't want to, but we could
Go
carry the
back
key
into the
out.
cell.
We will.
Okay, I turned to a bone person here thought that they had an idea. I prefer to go with that first.
Oh, okay. I'll give you that option. I just didn't want you to
Turns to
get
you,
caught.
Marrow. I don't believe I got your name. And I just
Uh,
said something that it seemed to me like maybe you reacted very badly when I said it.
It's fairly. My name is Marrow.
Mar You had an idea, Mara, that didn't involve throwing me back into the tomb?
Uh, yes, I was uh going to put you in my pocket.
It's like a different, smaller tomb with lint in it.
Okay. And how would you do that? I assume it's some sort of shrinking spell and not a crush you into a tiny cube spell.
It would be, yes, a shriek you spell.
I am proud to be part of this plan.
Thank you for trusting us. Do you have any idea who might have killed uh Dan Boots here
No,
with a dream bullet that said vengeance on it?
I apologize, but I have been a little out of circulation.
I didn't know if you would like come and talk your ear off about problems or something. Sometimes that's what
No,
people
no, he
do.
would come and torture me.
Really? Oh,
Oh,
But pockets, right? How about that?
all right. We could give that a quick shot,
Okay.
and
How,
I'm going to begin kind of making some barks, and we'll begin an incantation, and this is invoking a contract to take hold of something vulnerable or exposed, and I think he's both.
that that seems like a reasonable uh, thing. You are just at a level of suspicion and not mistrust, so it doesn't affect your invoke contract.
Good.
What do you want to roll that with?
Wish I could do it with sorrow, but I probably can't figure a good way to make that make sense. Let's do it with power.
Okay.
All right. That's not too bad. That's a 9. Or no, that's an 8.
That's an 8. So essentially you are going to use this to kind of change the environment.
Or take hold of something. Yeah.
Um, uh, and I think the catch is that uh, you need to kind of solidify. You have it like a jacket or pants, or what pocket are you putting him
I'm
in?
putting him in my trench coat.
In trench coat. Okay. I think the catch is that in order to do this, you kind of have to add some solidity to that trench coat. So you cannot take that trench coat off for a week.
Okay.
Okay. You have to
Mm.
sleep in it, all that. You
power
cannot
in
take
it.
it off.
I may get a little gamey by the end of the
Yes.
week, but
Does that feel like an okay catch?
I yes, absolutely.
Okay. And what does it look like when this happens, Marrow?
I think as I've got the symbols around him, and as I'm doing the incantations, I kind of reach out, and as my hands kind of reach for his shoulders, there's that effect of like his feet seem to rise up towards his head as I pull him and put him in the pocket. So it's sort of like womp womp.
A forced perspective kind of thing, and then he is in there. Tiny voice is
Okay.
like, "Oh, sorry. Oh, crumbs." Yeah, and you've got him pocketed away. Aldo, I assume you close up the
Yes.
air safe.
Yeah.
I imagine they're moon pie crumbs, actually. That would
Yes.
make sense.
Um, Mr. Suit, is there anything you want to do here before we move on?
Uh, No, I think this is um, more helpful than
Okay.
most of the other things we were doing here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think as you guys kind of maybe step out to kind of catch your breath, realizing now how just as Aldo realized just how much the smell and sort of stank and lack of circulation in that room was kind of getting to you. Actually, moving out into the Goblin Market is like a breath of fresh stank. Um, when you move out
Right,
there,
Pepper.
but at least not quite so. You don't feel it on your skin quite as much as you did in there.
Yeah, day
Smell the
old
fresh
dead
mildew.
goblin.
Yes. But Den Tipper will come and say, "How are things going?"
We have multiple leads. Oh, this may take a little bit. Can you tell us, uh, were there any bet you have cameras, don't you?
They don't work here.
I don't. What do they do?
They don't they don't work like we don't use cameras here in the Undertow because they take a little bit away from you to make the images.
Okay.
And it kind of looks at Marrow and says they so we can't really do that.
They're telling what you'll see in the replay.
Well,
Where are the closest cameras that do work?
I would assume outside.
That might be a helpful place for us to.
Well, I can take you back out,
Okay.
show you the way to call to come back in, and I can give you a phone service to call me on if you need to get a hold of me. And does that seem reasonable?
That's excellent.
But well, so let's head out then.
Okay.
Should we just leave the body there, you think, or are we supposed to, like, I know
You
that you're not supposed
should
to
get
move.
rid of that now.
I
Okay.
would
Well,
assume that
no,
his.
I mean, Orpha, Mr. Orpha knows that it's here.
Okay.
I
All
would
right.
assume it's his responsibility, isn't it?
Well, that
Since
was the
he's taken.
question is in
I
in
was more
investigations.
assuming that it wasn't ours.
Huh. I just like I didn't know detective stuff.
I
Oh,
think
you mean
we've
like if it would
found
take him to
everything
the
that we need
morgue?
from it.
Okay.
We haven't used all of our forensics evidence stuff yet.
Do we want to? I mean, we can.
Well, you can come
Probably
back if
should do that
you.
before they take the body away.
Yes, we
We'll
can
just
come
leave the
back.
body. He says we'll just leave the body there.
Okay. Oh, I know. We can put tape because there's some tape in the forensics thing.
That's
Oh,
perfect.
takes a like kid-sized
Yes.
police tape,
Yep,
put it across the
exactly.
door.
Yellow and black with really weird like three-armed policeman, figures on it. So
And he will walk you through the market. People are watching you. You have the sense that now word has spread around to everybody that you are detectives and you are investigating the death of Denbacher Boots. Uh, and everybody is watching you in
excellent.
that way. That is, they're always suspicious of the Taken because of your nature, but now you're taking cops. And so they're giving you that double down uh uh look. Um uh,
Oh, wow.
but they will take you outside. And I think that's where we're going to stop.
Okay.
It seems like we've got a good jumping off point for next time, if that seems fair.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at this. Bu- 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 bu-
Oh,
So, Marrow, We definitely interacted with your rival.
Yes, and
Uh,
I've got new entanglements.
ooh,
Ooh.
interesting. Uh,
My new general is, I suspect, Alidocious is being up to no good, but Aldo, who I usually trust, believes in them. And my romantic entanglement is, I have realized I'm in love with Abyssinian Vax, but I'm also developing feelings for Lily's spite suit.
nice.
Yay for me.
Uh,
For
an XP for the entanglements. Did you express your humanity?
Thinking the getting shot and the resentment for being ignored sort of thing.
Yeah, I definitely think so. And I think definitely that flashback gave us something of your taken self. So that's 3 points. Uh, Aldo, I don't think we hit your entanglements
No, I don't think so.
or rival. Did we see what do we see of your humanity today?
Um, Nothing comes to mind.
Okay. What about your changeling nature?
I'd say your humanity of taking care of your friend.
Oh yeah, actually I think that is reasonable.
Yeah, okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
you were
No,
the one who
Lord
moved to
knows no
do
one else was that humane.
yes. So give you a point for that. And what do we see of your taken nature?
Um, I mean, I think the whole cell thing, it was just like, okay, obviously I opened this door. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what that's for. Yeah,
Okay.
sure, let's let this goblin go, like
That does feel wonderfully unthought through. Um, uh, uh, Mr. Suit, uh, we kind of touched on elements of your rival there, I think.
Yeah.
So we get a point there.
Especially if Barrow's gonna start trying to date Max. Oh god.
Yes. Do we see anything about your humanity today?
Um, I do think more of just the like, so now I'm just the one with transportation.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes.
It's
I like
more
that.
den mothering the group around.
And what do we see of your taken nature?
Um, I don't know. I thought a little more like comfort in going for the utility of being in a goblin market.
Yeah, I like it. So that's 3 points total there. Uh, we definitely touched on Semolina Pilchard there, Lily. So,
okay.
yeah, that from your general entanglement.
Okay.
What do we see of your humanity?
Let's see here. Oh, I had handicap hot fries. I don't think there's anything more human than carrying around snack food, is there?
So, what did we see of your humanity?
Oh, let me see. Um, I mean, I don't know. Maybe
Okay,
maybe nothing of
maybe
my
that. Okay.
humanity.
So, what do we see of your taken nature?
Oh, well, I think very much my absolute fascination, infatuation with the idea of being a detective
Okay,
and pulling everyone in the group into the situation, whether they wanted to go or not. That would probably be the thing. So,
that seems reasonable. So
yes.
that's 3 points, two
Oh,
points total,
two
rather.
points, yeah. So that's good. So,
Still in advancement.
yeah.
Uh, Stars wishes, Tyler.
This was fun. I love seeing a goblin market. That I think those are always phenomenally interesting, and I think goblins are always fun. So the whole setup and everybody's suggestions for parts of it, and getting to see the goblins and how you portrayed them was wonderful. Just a delight. I love goblin markets. And we kind of got to see the group very much in character handling this situation. Everybody dealing with it very much in their way. But I will sort of point out Aldo's. There is a in a group that varies in kind of how much mysticky or unusually, being different they are. Ethan, you make Aldo do it so naturally and smoothly. All of us kind of, we shove our weird vayness right in your face. But Aldo does it so naturally. And it's just a joy to watch you, going for that spell, or when you're dealing with all of this seemed perfectly to the character without effort. And that is really phenomenal. That is just really solid role play. So I greatly enjoyed that. Um, for wishes,
Yes.
having gotten this info on the island, I am looking forward to delving into that more. It gives us even more on this strange group. They continue to be the gift that keeps on booby prizing us there. They're horrible. But I that was phenomenal. Um, and kind of I would kind of like if not in this next one, because we may be more driven in this next one, but coming up, I'd like a little free play
Okay.
opportunity to do things that aren't as pointed towards our particular mysteries and troubles.
Yeah. A couple of free go arounds. Yeah, that seems
Yeah.
reasonable. Absolutely. Aldo.
Um, yeah, I enjoyed seeing all of these characters just be these characters. Um, I think the one that jumped out at me is like Patrick's like, well, I mean, thanks to all these TV shows, people obviously dream about forensics. So, like, uh, obviously, this not only does this exist, but this mall has it, and I'm gonna go get it. It was just like a thing that would never have occurred to me in a million years, but like, yeah, it makes sense. If there's dream things around, then if it's a dream bullet, there should. um, so yeah, cool. I was very creative. Problem solving. Also, I probably should stop accidentally hitting things. um, uh, and oh yeah, Tyler's use of the memory move. Awesome. I was kind of hoping to like yeah lead into something like that with my move, and yes, you not only picked up what I was putting down, but then like added to it. So I really like that whole exchange because it just sort of rolled into I don't know how many moves were made during that, but it was good. It was very cool. And um and obviously Lily's new detective thing. It's like um I like that I can never tell, and I think that like the characters would not be able to tell. So this is totally, totally makes sense whether Lily actually has any idea what she's doing. It's totally a mystery, like because I think that she would act exactly the same way either way.
Consistency is a virtue.
In fact, I'm not sure if Lily has any idea whether she has any idea what she's doing or not. I don't know if she cares. Um, and I like that just like enthusiastic embrace of, oh yeah, I know how to do this, no matter what it is. And like um it always leads to some fun places. Uh I'm trying to think
Anything
of
wishes wise?
Um no, I think Tyler hit on it. I would like to see just some like free play now that we've sort of got both a story and like all of the and an understanding of the game going. And there's enough background stuff going on that just like free call a scene doesn't feel like, oh crap, what do I do? I have no idea what to
Hmm.
do. Like there's stuff going on that we could jump on easily if we have no idea what to do. So it's a good time
Absolutely.
for that.
Mr. Suit.
Uh, yeah, this was very fun. I also love going to a Goblin Market. I thought the Goblin Mall in the abandoned mall is just that's wonderful. I love it so much. I want to come back here. Um, uh, Sherry, people talk about it, but Lily, the detective, was super great, and just in that sense of like exploring now that idea of all of the people and experiences inside of her, and yeah, that question of like, is this just a random impulse that she had because she watched half of a Law and Order episode last night, or is there really like deep inside her, is there something that's stirring and saying like, you have these skills, you should follow this idea, sort of thing. It's very neat to start picking apart that while still having Lily be full like manic pixie hyper girl just all over the place. Um, Ethan, I liked it was part of the Goblin Market stuff, but just in general, like playing with seeing the world through Aldo's senses and like these scents and things that are obvious and memorable to him and just like very strange, sort of, without thinking about it from the outside. Um, and Tyler, the whole reaction around being shot and then being upset that no one was more upset about you not bleeding out all over the place. But also then just in that the idea of the dream bullet that's still rattling around and you might accidentally set it off because it still thinks it's going. Um, Wishes, I'm definitely curious to dig more into what this goblin knows or will tell us that he knows. Um, but also, we walked into a goblin market in good faith and unlocked an unknown prisoner and just smuggled him out with us. There may have been good reasons that he was locked up. There may have been bad reasons to free him. Um, I'm curious to dig into that some.
Excellent. And Lily.
I thought everyone was magnificent today. Eldo was how should we say, uh like I think that word is you were just so natural about it. It was a really good way of putting it. You have Aldo down, and when he's reacting to the world, it always paints such a great picture of both Aldo and his sunken self, if that makes any sense. And they are kind of separate, but they're also close. They just go back and forth. They just do that, like it's a scale with Aldo, and I just love that. So good. All the senses, all the things that you were and again, and with the key, just you're going to turn it. You just would. Why
Mm,
wouldn't you? Because it was just so good. I don't know. Let's see here. Mara, you made me feel guilty. It was like I. Lily is a distractible creature, and also everyone else had the chance to react first. So I don't know. That's great. Yeah, no, it was so good. It hurt Sherry's heart, but but Lily was distracted. So there you go. Now you know more about her. I love that. I also loved the explanation to Aldo about why you go into the things. That was heartbreaking. That was so good to hear. Such good character stuff. Like really heartbreaking. I Patrick, the forensics kit was great. And I did not mean to make light of it, but
No, that was wonderful.
It had to be a thing that was like exactly what we needed, and yet also looked like a kid's lunchbox setup, so it's perfect. Yes, I love that. It was just such a good set of tools to bring to the scene. It was just very, very cool. And Laurel, I really loved this turn that you made and this opportunity that we just ended up going to, that we got to come to a goblin mall, which is many times worse than a goblin market, by the way. So
We didn't even
as,
make it to the food court.
Yes.
exactly. Though
Oh.
I don't, yeah. I don't know if I regret that exactly. I don't know. So, but it was just really great world building, and the whole organization and the titles was
Lots
great.
of weird Squalamus stalls and then Panda Express. That's what it
And
is.
Panda Express was pristine,
Yes.
it was always from the undertow. So um no, that's it was great. It was just a lovely, lovely set of opportunities tonight. And I enjoyed every one of them. And I didn't hit any of the things I was supposed to hit because wow, there was just so much to do. It was a session full of sparkly things. Thank you.
Mm. Anything wishes wise?
Oh yes, I would like to solve this in some way.
Yes. Okay.
So that
I think
is that
that's
is one of the
fair.
things. So
I think that's absolutely fair. Um, awesome. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed that. I had a very good time. I do love Goblin Markets. I, we will definitely come back here again because we've got NPCs and stuff to muck around with and things,
yes, it's great.
and some of the reasons for why people are called what they are and what the names and the whole one of the things like what if
Mm-hmm.
we've gotten some hints about the different clans of the goblins. We kind of had started with that in the opening thing, so I'm trying to kind of lean into that. So enjoying that. I'm going to stop the recording